Hi everyone, and welcome to another reading vlog. Don't mind my messy hair, it is super windy. Fargo, I call it the second windy city because I've been to Chicago, and while it may have been like a low windy day when I was there, it is windy here a lot. And now that it is getting colder, it is like a 30-degree blustery wind, and I haven't fixed my hair. Whatever. It is Tuesday. Yesterday I was just enjoying my day, and I also had class and all these things, so I forgot to film a clip, but wanted to jump in with you guys right now. I have my Dancing with the Stars queued up. I love Dancing with the Stars. I'm really liking Kiamo, is that how you say his name? He's from Queer Eye. And I really like the pop star from that group. Wow, I can't remember anything. Listen to me, how much I love the people. Anyway, I love Dancing with the Stars. I actually watch it for the pros. Kate Flannery from The Office, she's great. Oh, she's doing great. Anyway, I watch more for the pros these days than I do for the stars, because usually it's always someone from The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, some soap star, a couple pop stars, maybe a country star, but it's generally, not low talent is not what I mean at all, because in their respective areas, they're usually very important. And I love watching people's dancing skills. Also, it's a dream of mine to become just famous enough one day that I relegate being on Dancing with the Stars. Like, it is a dream. So if you guys like and subscribe, I'm just kidding. But who knows? I think they've had a YouTube star on there before. Whatever. Just get famous for my reviews. Who knows? Also I have my dinner, which is just a chicken sandwich and some chips tonight. And yeah, I'm going to watch Dancing with the Stars, Prodigal Son, and then The Resident and This Is Us is on tonight. So Tuesdays, usually my chill night where I don't have anything else planned. So I'm going to watch some TV and get some reading done. Because when I watch live TV, which most of us, don't have to do these days, we can watch everything on streaming. But when I watch live TV, there's commercial breaks, which is how I used to do a lot of reading as a kid. So my goal tonight is actually to finish The Stone Sky, because not gonna lie, I've been kind of skimming a few things. I have not been into this one at all. Like, nothing about it has really caught my attention so far. This happened in the last one too. The first 200 pages were kind of boring, and then it kicked up. So I'm hoping for that. Also, I have Hidden Bodies right here, which I'm really not liking at all. I may DNF that. And then that just leaves The Art of Sinning and The Queen of Ruin for this month. Because as you'll see, like, I've kind of pushed Lord of Chaos. I started Lord of Chaos, but it's so big, it's probably going to take me a couple months to get through, just because it's a 40-hour audiobook. So, excuse me, we'll see. Yeah, so those are the plans for tonight. I'm just gonna chill and read and watch TV, and I'm gonna love it. I've just started watching The Prodigal Son, and it's so good. I love Criminal Minds, and this is really kind of just like, it's focusing on one profiler who, his father was a serial killer, and he became a profiler to kind of like make up for what his father did by killing a bunch of people. And it's really good. So that's me. I'm just gonna eat my dinner and watch some people dance and just relax at home tonight. I might film a video. We'll see. I need to film my Dragonfly and Amber book review. Even though that video is not going up till November, I, finished that book this month, so I don't want to wait too long before I do the review. So anyway, that's what's going on, and I'll check back in with you later this week to see how it goes. All right, I'm popping back in just 5 hours after this last clip because things have changed dramatically. So I figured I would share them with you. Number one, I finished The Stone Sky, 2 stars. I'll save that for the week wrap up because I'm tired of it, okay? Then I was like, okay, well, I'll finish Hidden Bodies too. You know what? I don't want to. I hate Joe. And you know what? I was just looking over my goals page, because I'm seeing which goals that I made in January that I can successfully maybe complete still. And one of the goals was DNF more quickly. And since this book wasn't one that I was buddy reading, and it wasn't one I'm reading for my channel, and there's no other reason for it, I was like, screw this, I'm peacing out. I hate Joe. I don't care what happens to him. And it's not that I have to like every character I read a book about, but I really hate him. So why do I want to spend time in his head while he is murdering people and being an asshole? Moving along. So now I'm at this point of the month where I technically have like 2 books left on my list. Well, 3, but that third one is Lord of Chaos, and that one's following over into November. So I have Queen of Ruin left, and I have this historical romance I was going to read, but I don't like have to read that one this month. And I'm reading Hello Stranger instead, which is the 4th Lisa Kleypas book. So that's probably going to be my historical romance. But I started A Heart So Fierce and Broken probably like 2 months ago when I got the ARC from my friend. And I really want to get back into it and like get this done because I'd almost forgotten what happened in the beginning. And for the next 8 days of the month, I just want to read stuff that makes me really happy because I've read 3 out of my 12 books just like didn't make me happy this month. And the reading month has been good overall, but I just want to read some fun things. So I'm going to make a dent in this. I actually read 20 pages of this already. And I'm excited to start Queen of Ruin, so I picked that one up. And then I'm also going to start Serpent and Dove because I have heard such great things about this. I've heard that it's verging on new adult. Sarah J. Maas blurbed it at the top, she's my queen. And yeah, I just really want to read this because I heard it is pretty smexy and it has an arranged marriage and witches. And so this is, October-y too. So I want to read that. And then this book is from, I think, my TBR 1 or 2 months ago, and it is The Rest of the Story by Sarah Dessen. Sarah Dessen is my go-to contemporary author. Like, I don't read a ton of contemporary and enjoy myself, but Sarah Dessen has been tried and true since I was in 8th grade. So I picked up that. So in the course of one night, I closed 2 books and I picked up 4. And technically I have a 5th one going because that's how I do things. How many of these will I finish before I film my review in 6 days? Who knows? But your girl's going to give it a college try because I want to read some shit that I want. Sorry I've cussed a bunch in this clip. Anyway, peace out. I'll check back in later. Hey, ladies and gents. I'm checking in. It's Thursday. This has been another great reading week. Like, I'm really proud of myself. I've just been in a groove and I've actually had a little more time at nights than I usually do. Things are usually a little more crazy for me. So after my slight meltdown on Tuesday night where I just trashed a bunch of books I was reading, I started Serpent and Dove, which I think I said, and I'm about 50 pages into that. But I did have one main book left on my TBR for October that I forgot I want to finish, and that is Queen of Ruin, which is the 2nd book to Grace and Fury, which I read 2 months ago, I think. It was the book that you guys picked for me to read. It's about these 2 sisters. They live in this country where women are super oppressed and they're not allowed to read or have education or have any thoughts on their own. And when I went into that book, I thought it was going to be really ham-fisted feminism. And it is just a little bit, but it also was enough of a quick burn of a read that it was really fun. And that's how this one's turning out to be too. I read 60 pages of this at lunch today, which that's a lot, but also it's a really fast read. And after a few of the reads I had this month that were a little more tough to get through, it's fun to kind of read this lighter fare is what I would call it. Or by that I mean a YA fantasy that just gets to it, right? It just gets to it. And that being said, I don't really feel like these are fantasy except for the fact that it's a made up world. There's no, as far as I can see, there's no magical elements in this. It really is kind of more of a historical reimagining fiction kind of. I've yet to see any magic be used. I could be wrong, but it's funny how that goes sometimes. There's nothing really magical about it except that it's in a made up world. Yeah, I'm liking the sisters. The plot is just trucking along which is fun after reading some books, looking at you, Stone Sky, that just dragged their ass through the whole thing. Pardon me. So this is good. It's still trending to be like 3 stars like the other one was, but it's fun, and it's a great way to like round out the month. And I'm going to try to finish Serpent and Dove as well. I'm, like I said, I'm only 50 pages into that one, but I'm really interested. So I think Queen of Ruin and that, and then Hello Stranger are going to be the 3 I try to read. And then that would put me at 16 books for the month, which would be my second highest of the year, which is crazy because I started out the year super strong doing like 13 books, 20 books, 12, and then through this summer I was reading only like 8 or 9 books a month. But it's okay. I just hit my goal, 120, so everything else is kind of gravy right now, which is great. So I'm really liking this so far. I think there's one more for this too. I think this is supposed to be a trilogy. I haven't seen. I don't know if it wraps up here or not. Maybe it is only a duology. I have no idea. We'll find out. And then one other thing. Sorry, these vlogs have been really long, but you guys are awesome. I was doing a lot of list making last night, trying to kind of prepare for like end of the year videos that I'll need to make, which you can only prep so much because there are still some of my most anticipated books of the year to come out. So I don't really want to start making lists at all, but you know, I started my like worst list of the year because, you know, things could change. I mean, they just changed this week, but the books on my TBR, I don't see any of them being in my worst list, but we'll see. And then I wanted to prepare what I'm going to do for next year because like so many of us booktubers, I really want to cut down on the books I own I haven't read. Not that I need to get rid of books that I've read. I don't like doing that, but I want to cut down on how many books I haven't read. And so I wanted to do some kind of TBR game, but like everybody has something and they're all really fun. And I didn't want to put a lot of work into mine because I want it to be like sustainable. So I thought, what's something that I have at home that I don't have to alter, that isn't just having like prompts in a jar or a wheel or a game board? And so what I did is I thought, how about a deck of cards? So what I did is I wrote out, I don't want to show you everything yet because there'll be a separate video. I just wanted to share about it. I made a prompt for every deck, for every card in a deck. And so like I have Ace of Spades, Diamonds, Hearts, Clubs, and then so on. And I gave them each a prompt. And most of them all relate to a book that I already own. They're not specific about it. And they're reusable then because they're all pretty vague except for like a couple. And they all have to do with a lot of the lists that I'm making. Because I'm planning to do, in December, I'm going to do a week of videos. Because there are so many like yearly wrap-up videos that I don't want to space them out and like ruin all the other content I do. So I'm going to do like a Christmas week or the week before Christmas maybe. And just have a full week of videos that have my best, worst, favorites, most into, like I'm going to do all of that. And then in January, I'll probably also have a week of videos where I do like, you know, all of the stuff like that. So what I'll do is I'll start like, I'll have the books I like need to read, kind of like Becca for her like Bookopoly, if you've seen that. She's amazing, by the way, and I love her Bookopoly. It's just she puts so much work into it, and I don't want to do that because I'm lazy, right? But it'll still work because I still want to do my You Pick from my TBR, and I'll still be buddy reading with Murphy. I'll probably do that forever. And so what'll happen is like I'll kind of make a TBR of like the books I like have to read, and then I'll make them fit into the prompts I get. Because again, the prompts are pretty vague. They have to do with like give an author a second chance, read a book over 500 pages, read a classic, read a fantasy. Like they're all things like that. And I'll try to make those fit to the books I have. But I'm only going to draw 5 cards. And so if for some reason none of the books I have to read fit to the cards, at least I haven't put like, you know, I'm not going to be assigning myself like 10 books, but I'm going to try to pull these ones from books that I already own. So anyway, that was a way more of an explanation than I needed to give because there'll be a video about this, but I was excited because I made it up today and like coded it and everything. But it's going to be basic. It's not going to involve a lot. I'm literally just going to deal myself 5 cards and then they can go back in the deck at the end because I can pull them again because I have ad nauseum amount of YA fantasy and like stuff like that. So anyway, reading's going great. This week is going awesome. It's Halloween week. Tomorrow I have a Halloween party. Saturday we're watching Star Wars at my friend's house. And it's going great. And I'm just enjoying reading things. And I love it. So anyway, I will probably then like not update you until the end of the week now because I've talked a lot. And we'll see what else I finish. The next 3 days are kind of busy. My friends are coming over in like a half hour to watch football because it's a Thursday game this week. Which is nice because it means there won't be a game on Sunday, which means I can chill. So anyway, bye. All right. Hi, everybody. It is Sunday morning, wrapping up in kind of a different space. I had a friend stay over, so she's out in the living room, and I figured I'd come wrap this up in my room. I haven't filmed in here in a really long time, but okay. So let's go over the reading week. It was a pretty, it was pretty progressive reading week. But I had a few disappointments this week. So let's start with, I finished The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin. I didn't like this. I ended up giving this book 2 stars. I felt very disappointed by how it chose to wrap up. Excuse me, I'm gonna pull you closer. Come in close, guys. I just wasn't a fan of the choices the author made, and it was 3 books of like not liking the characters, and I don't know. Other people will find this a really awesome book, but I'm not into books for this kind of like drag in between. Like books 2 and 3, 80% of the books were just boredom to me, and then in the last little bit they would be interesting, and I just didn't have a good time. Murphy liked the wrap up to the series better than me, but I was so over how pretentious the author was being that I was done by the end. And I'm really sad about it because the first book in this series is going to be on my favorite books of the year list. Like, spoiler, it is. Because I thought the mystery that was set up, the way the characters were developed in that one, I was really into it. And then just as it progressed, it went down and down for me. And this world doesn't make any sense to me. I just don't like a lot that happened, and it's just not a series that's for me. And that's something that happens in science fiction for me, and this really does rely more on like sci-fi elements because it's very science-y and things like that, and I just wasn't a fan. So this is gonna end up being on my worst book list of the year. So that was sad. Then I finally finished my arc of A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kimmerer. This was so much fun, and it was great to read after the letdown that I had, and getting to spend time with a couple new characters. I started this back in August when I received it from a friend. A friend found this for me at a thrift store. Everybody keeps asking. No, I don't have an in for ARCs. I'm way too insignificant to get that. But my friend found this at a thrift store, and she knew that I'd want it. So, kudos for friends. And I obviously don't want to say anything too much about this. I think some things that aren't a spoiler is that we get 2 new perspectives. One of them is Gray, who some interesting things happened to him at the end of the last book. And then there is a new perspective, which, yes, is set on the back. Her name is Leah Mara, and she's the daughter of the queen of the other country. And so these are the 2 perspectives that we get. And this was very good. And I'm going to trust Bridget that she'll wrap the series up in a satisfying way with the 3rd one. I was still satisfied. It's just the things that I can't talk about, that some characters we already know, some things that they do were a little bit traumatic for me. And I'm very worried about what it means for the series overall. But again, I trust Bridget, and I'm sure that once I know the ending of it, it will all be okay. But there was some parts that were just really hard to read in this one, but I loved it, and this is a 4.5 star for me, because again, I know she's gonna do something amazing with this, but this was great. This comes out in January 7th, so we're not too far away from it, under 2 months, like about 2 months till we get it, so not too far away. Then I finished and read Queen of Ruin by Tracy Banghart. This was like the last one on my list for this month, besides Lord of Chaos, which isn't going to get finished. I'll save more to talk about this in my wrap up, because this vlog is also really long, but this was a huge disappointment. I finished this last night, and it was very unsatisfying going to bed. First off, this is a duology. I thought it was going to be a trilogy, and I feel like the author rushed through it. Both of these books are only just over 300 pages, like they're 315 pages each, and there just definitely needed to be a third one, because what should have been a third book was only the last 10 pages, and it needed a whole book to itself, because the changes that happen in this country, there's no flippin' way that they all worked out fine, okay? And it's very unsatisfying ending, because the changes these women go through and the things that they do and the way their character changes deserved more explanation. So that's what I'll say about that, because I really liked the character growth of Serena specifically, whom I didn't like Serena in the first one, and she really stole the show in this one, because there was nothing for Nomi to do in this book. Like, really, she didn't do anything, and the men were just like flimsy pieces of paper. And I wonder in some respects if that's supposed to be a commentary about, you know, because this is a very women power story, and I wonder if it's supposed to be a commentary that the men in this one are like cardboard cutouts, but they are. And it's just kind of unsatisfying that they are. So this was a big disappointment, because I was really excited for this, and it started off very exciting, and then the ending was just a fizzle instead of a bang. Then I am 150 pages into Lord of Chaos. It's going to take me a long time. And I am 50 pages into Serpent and Dove. I have heard so many good reviews about it, and all the reviews say things that I really like. That it skews a little more new adult, that this is about an arranged marriage. This is a witch getting married to, basically, like, he wants to be a monk, basically, but they decide that he needs a wife to keep him from sinning, because if you're a young man and you are very, like, having the sexual desires, then they marry you so that you don't sin. And they marry him to this woman that they're trying to keep an eye on, because they think that she's involved with the occult, which is forbidden. This is set in Paris. It's really fun so far. I'm only 56 pages in, and the woman is amazing. Her name is Louise, and the guy's name is Reed, and I love them so far. It's going good. This I'm going to focus on now. I'm going to try to make this my last book of the month. So there we go. Sorry that this vlog is so long, but it was really fun. I did a lot of reading, and I had a great time this month. There won't be a vlog next week. Next week will be my wrap up for the month. Yeah, super exciting. Thank you so much for watching. I put up new videos on Mondays and Thursdays and sometimes Saturdays. And thank you for watching, and you have a great day.